Yeah.
What'd you do for NASA?
I worked on several projects for them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
I worked on some of their spacecraft, on the guidance systems.
On their spacecraft guidance systems?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what type of guidance systems?
What type of guidance systems?
Yeah, what were the guidance systems for?
Well, I worked on Minuteman, which was just rockets, and then they circled the Earth.
Wow.
I worked on a Minuteman system, and I worked on, about 4 different guidance systems. I built and checked out the guidance systems for orbiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You built? How did you build them?
I just troubleshot them. I didn't build them.
Oh.
If they had a problem with them, if it was already in orbit, there was nothing I could do.
Yeah?
Because you can't bring it down and put it back in orbit. It don't work.
No?
No,
You mean in outer space?
in outer space.
Oh, cool. So, did you ever get a chance to work in Area 51?
No,
Never did?
nope.
How about Roswell, New Mexico?
I've been to Roswell a lot of times with launches from Roswell.
Oh, they launched from launch?
Yeah. Most of the stuff I worked on were guided missiles, but they were launched from B-52s at about 40,000 feet or more.
Oh, wow.
He worked on that moon car.
Yeah.
The moon car that's in the moon, on the moon.
Yeah.
Later.
Yep. Worked on that.
You worked on a moon car? What'd you do for the moon car?
Not much.
Yeah?
There really wasn't much to do on it.
No?
No, it was just like a car, battery-operated car.
That moon car's still on the moon. The first moon car.
Yep.
They left it up there?
Of course.
Yeah, he
How are
made
they going to get it back?
He made the schematics, or you call it?
Schematic.
Schematics.
Yeah.
For it.
That's the electrical diagram for.
Yeah. He made that.
So, here's my question. Some people think that the moon landing never existed, that it never really happened. What do you think about that?
Oh, I know I did.
Yeah?
I did some of the telemetry.
Some of the what?
Telemetering.
Telemetering, which is what?
Which is, it collects the data, the information, the data that they need, the camera equipment and all that stuff. All that is sent back to Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena.
Yeah?
Yeah, I worked on that whole system. Installed and checked it out and had it all working perfect.
Now, did you actually receive images from the moon?
Yeah.
You got to see some of those images?
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Did you ever see any kind of images on the moon that looked like they could have been man-made or made by alien civilizations?
I've never seen anything that's been made by aliens.
So you saw things that might have been made by people?
Yeah, right.
Now,
Everything that the United States put on the moon carried an American flag.
what I mean by
Painted on or
by
whatever.
man-made, I mean pre-existing. You think there might have been any pre-existing
I've never seen anything
Nothing like
like
that.
that. Nope.
No, but he did,
Never seen anything like that.
he did have things about the aliens he's seen.
So,
Yep.
what about aliens? Do you see stuff about aliens?
I've seen some films at Jet Propulsion Lab.
You seen stuff at the Jet Propulsion Lab about the aliens?
Yeah,
What did you actually see?
just basically tracks that were put on the moon
So, you saw tracks?
that weren't put on by us.
When you say tracks, what do you mean by that?
Like tread tracks.
So, there were tread tracks on the moon,
Yeah,
and those weren't made by humans.
yeah, they were. There's so much junk on that moon that we put on there. You'd be amazed if you had any idea.
No, when you talk about the alien tracks, are you talking about footprints? Or are you talking about treads from tires, or
No, they're like metal tracks.
metal tracks?
Yeah,
Like treads for like a tank.
yeah.
And those were recorded by the government?
Oh yeah.
Wow. And
No, we got little four-wheel drive vehicles on the moon. A whole bunch of them.
yeah, but you said you saw alien tracks
Yeah,
that weren't
films of them.
but they weren't human tracks.
No,
Wow. And so how do you know that they were alien though? I mean, what makes you think that they were alien and not human?
because I asked them at Jet Propulsion Lab when I was working there. I seen all kinds of films that were sent back through the air,
Wow.
that were transmitted back.
Now, did you guys see any kind of vehicles? Any kind of debris vehicles that might have been left behind by the aliens?
No,
Nothing like that? So what do you think they were doing on the moon if there were aliens there?
checking it out, same as we were.
Now, were they big tracks or were they little tracks?
I would say probably a small car size.
The tires? The treads, you mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the treads were fairly small, but it was sandy, so they were pretty light.
Oh, interesting. Did you see anything else interesting like that?
Well, I've seen some things I couldn't explain.
Like what?
Well, like tread tracks on the moon. I haven't been to the moon, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
they've had cameras up there for years. And they've remote control the little vehicles that they put on the moon. And they have cameras on both ends of them.
Now, did you ever see any pictures or videos of actual aliens?
No, I've never actually seen an alien.
So, have you ever seen UFOs?
Yeah,
You have. Where did you see a UFO?
at Jet Propulsion Lab.
It was actually in the lab?
Well, they photographed a lot of them that were on the moon.
So there were UFOs on the moon?
Yeah,
And what did they look like?
they're just small with, some of them had full treads, like a tractor.
So the UFOs had treads on them?
Most of them were just a straight missile that landed on the moon.
A missile? Like they're shaped like a missile?
Like some of the missiles we put up there.
And they had tread tracks.
some of them were, when they went into land, they reversed the function and then they eased down.
So there was
So that the rocket was setting on the moon itself.
and those were not made by humans?
Oh yeah,
Oh, they were.
yeah.
I thought those were UFOs.
They had some pictures of some UFOs, the round disc type.
Yeah. And those were pictures taken by the United States?
Yeah,
And were they actually landed when they were on the moon and they
yeah,
took
they
the
were
pictures?
setting on the moon.
So they were there before we got there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've been around for a few thousand years.
Wow.
I mean, we're just a young nation,
Yeah.
a very young nation.
So, did they ever try to capture any of those UFOs that were on the moon?
What are they going to do with them?
I don't know. Study them, maybe?
They've taken all kinds of photos of them.
Wow.